Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Garden Jargon, and it is December 16th today, and it was about 32 degrees outside, and little snow flurries were flying all over the sky. And this is the time of year in the area I live, which is Grow Zone 5B in the Chicagoland area. It's that time of year where you kind of go through a little mourning process, or a what do you call it, like a discouragement or something, because there's no garden to be in. I worked in the garden last week. It was about 42 degrees and sunny, and I did go out in the garden and work in the garden, which gave me much joy to be out there. And now it's just to the point where the ground is frozen, the mulch is frozen. I can't do anything out there. So this week I'm going to start working on getting my grow room ready. I'm in a new location, and at my old location, my house, the garage was built out into a big room. So they took the huge up-down garage door, put a people door in, and made that room into like a big living room. And I basically turned that room into a grow room. If you take a look at my old videos from last year, from seed starting and stepping up peppers, and how to use or how to cut up old blinds for plant markers, like I did all those videos in that grow room. So I'm basically duplicating that entire room in this grow space room in my new location. And this room is quite a bit smaller, but the way that I'm building this room this year will be a little bit more better planned, I guess I could say. The old room at the old place was kind of just thrown together because I was like, I think I'm going to start gardening this year. And I started planting seeds, and I was like, oh, I need a grow light. And I built a shelf and put a grow light on it. And then I was like, oh, I need more because I have more trays of stuff to grow, and added another grow light and did a bunch of shopping. So now I have a plethora of grow lights, and I have a plethora of free lumber, and I have a plethora of 6 mil plastic. I have a plethora of trays and solo cups. So I'm well equipped with the things that I need. So now I can design this room in a special way to make it extremely useful for what I need to do this year. I'm actually seed starting all of our seeds again this year for the garden at the church, as well as here on my new property. So lots of growing will be happening. Also this year for 2021, I am going to take my hand first try at growing more flowers. Last year I did snapdragons, I did marigolds, and I did sunflowers and zinnias. And they all did really well. But I learned some mistakes that I did last year that I won't be making this year. And I want to try to start them a little sooner indoors so they're a little bit more established when I put them in the garden. Because when you plant a garden for the first time, it always happens. Every year I do it. You put all your plants in the ground. They're these little weeny, puny things. And there's nothing to look at. There's nothing to see. So I hope I can develop and plant some and grow some flowers so that I can have something pretty to look at while I'm waiting for everything to catch up and give me vegetables. So this is my grow room. As you can see, I'm overwintering some peppers. I made a video about that. Please check that out. My first hand at overwintering peppers. And I really hope it works, because there's a special pepper in here that I loved, which is a Sugar Rush peach pepper. And I want to overwinter that because we want peppers sooner than we had them last year, because they take a long time to grow. And then that tall plant in the very back over there with those yellow things, that was supposed to be a habanero, but they never got to maturity. They're supposed to be orange. I've had it under a grow light, but I think that it's just done. So I'm just going to leave it. I'll snip that down, and then I will overwinter that as well. It's a bit tall. You're supposed to cut 2 inches above the first V. Well, the first V is about 12 inches tall. So that's pretty tall pepper plant there, but we'll do it. Like I said, I've never done that before, but I love peppers, and I hope that this is successful, because I have the room, obviously, to overwinter peppers here in this room. So I'd like to try that. And I don't have a garage, so this is the room that I would be able to overwinter them in. So what I did in this room, it's probably, I'd say probably 10 by 12 in here. I also have a big closet, which is over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hang a grow light from the ceiling, and then I'm going to put black shelving unit in there. You know, the wire shelves with the poles and the clips, and you stack up the shelves. I'm gonna roll that in there. So the top will have a hanging light, and then all the rest of the lights I could actually just hang on the wire rack, as I did at my old place. Actually, that was an extra shelf that I had to buy, because when I was stepping up all the plants, I ran out of grow light shelving space. So I had to literally look on Facebook for somebody that was selling a shelf like that and purchase one, which I loved it because it really did help me to harden off my plants also. Because when I moved that shelf outside, I could roll it into the sun, let them harden off, and then roll it into the shade when I was done letting them harden off. And that hardening off is a process of letting your plants see the sun for a little bit, but then taking them out of the sun so that they don't die. You can't just take a plant from indoors in your grow room and stick it in the ground and expect it to live. It's like taking an infant child out of a mother's womb and sticking it out in the sun with no blankets or anything on it. Like, you can't do that. So you can't do it to plants either. I had a couple customers last year that bought plants from me that said, I planted the tomatoes and they grew to about 1 foot tall and I put it in the ground and it died. Well, they don't even know what hardening off is. So I tried to share some knowledge with them and let them know. So this year, what I did, again, is I lined my floor with plastic. You can probably see that all over in here. But that saves the carpet because I'm messy and I spill dirt and I spill... Hi, Molly. Come here. Say hi to everybody. This is Molly. I spill dirt and I spill water, and I don't want to mess up the carpet down here because it's brand new carpet. So what I did was I just rolled out another layer of carpet lining, not lining, padding. Put that on the floor just to give it a little more insulation because I'm on a slab of concrete here. And it's just some burlap carpet laid on top of there. And then I just laid down some 6 mil plastic, clear plastic. I've used it for painting and whatnot, but there's no holes in it. And it's definitely watertight. I put 3 pieces, triple layered them. And so if I do dribble some water out of the watering can, I just sop it up with a towel and it's not ruining the carpet. And then if I spill a bunch of dirt, I can sweep it up and then handy back it up. So it kind of just protects the carpet for me, which is great. I did that in my grow room at the other location as well. And then the grow shelf will be in that closet. And then I also built 2 grow shelves last year out of pallet jack scraps from Home Depot. I got some plywood sheets for the shelving for free from a construction site. Actually, the construction guys cut it up for me, which was awesome. And so I'm going to reconstruct those, but I'm going to give them a little bit less space because I didn't need so much space. I had probably 2 feet per shelf, and I did not let my plants get to that size to have that much space. So I could probably fit another row of lights in there. So I'm going to really pay attention to how I'm building them this year. And I do have the same height of ceiling, so I can actually bring in taller pieces of 2x4s for the 4 legs. And actually, I just found some in the dumpster today. So yes, I dumpster dive. I went driving past a convenience store and they did some construction and pulled out some studs from one of their locations. Got a bunch of nails in it stuff, but I have a nail puller outer tool, whatever it's called, I forget. And I'll pull out those nails. So I got 3, they were 10 feet, 2x4s, free lumber. So I can make 3 more legs for free. And I have a whole pile of free lumber outside, or lumber that I paid for pennies on the dollar from Home Depot because it's a little bit crooked, but you don't need it perfectly straight if you're just building a silly shelf. So I just wanted to touch base with you and say hi. I have not posted in a long time. I feel like I am completely neglecting my channel. I don't mean to do that, but this is a time of year where I'm going to be doing a lot more things indoors, so I will make sure I shoot some content on that to show you what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, and I have no problem with answering questions or replying to your comments if you do have any for me below. But it is that time of year where there's not a lot going on outside, but you'll get to see the behind the scenes footage here indoors for the next couple months. It's December 16th. I start seeds usually right around end of March, beginning of April, and then we planted our gardens in the ground last year, May 30th. So maybe we'll be able to plant them in the ground a little sooner than that this year because I have row covers now and I can put stuff in the ground outside and then pray there's no frost to get a little head start on some plants. So we'll see. I'm going to start some stuff super early. I'm going to start some pepper plants super early this year to see how big I could actually get them before we stick them in the ground. And then also start them at the normal time to start pepper plants because there's always threats of storms in the spring. And last year I lost about 6 tomato plants at the church and I didn't have new plant starts to put in their place. So this year I'm going to be a little more prepared with that and start other plants indoors in case there is a storm. And I do lose a couple plants, so I don't want to have that problem this year. So it's always nice to know that when you go through one full season, going into your next season, different things that you can do differently. And I have journaled all of that stuff, and hopefully that stuff will come back to myself in my brain when the time comes. And I do read through my journals quite often because I need to remember these things because they will be profitable and help the garden improve every year. So thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. I'm sorry it wasn't very eventful, but it was kind of like an announcement that I'll be inside now because I'm a weenie and I don't like to be outside in the cold. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. I wish you the best in your gardening adventures because it is an adventure. Every day is something different. And I can't wait to get growing with you guys here in the next season of 2021. So take care and God bless. Oh, Holly says bye-bye too. Bye.